We're going to go through Ecclesiastes chapter 1 to see the holistic meaning of the text, and then as the rest of the days go by, we'll take it apart piece by piece so that we can understand in depth exactly what the teacher is getting at. These are strong words. What does man gain from all his labor at which he toils under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to where it rises. And the wind blows to the south and turns to the north, round and round and round it goes, ever returning on its course. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. All things are wearisome, more than one can say. The eye never has enough of seeing, nor the ear its fill of hearing. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There's nothing new under the sun. Is there anything which one can say, look, this is something new? It was here already, long ago. It was here before our time. There's no remembrance of men of old, and even those who are yet to come will not be remembered by those who follow. That's Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verses 3 to 11. Quite poetic, quite deep, quite intriguing, quite despairing. The first chapter of Ecclesiastes provides a summary of the huge variety of projects and schemes and strategies and ventures people pursue in their endeavor to negotiate life, talking about work and childbirth and dynasties and urgency and cycles and nostalgia and inventions and ancestry, and so on and so forth. The great serendipity of life, everything you enjoy and everything you do out of duty and responsibility, your domain and province, the systems and structures that permeate society, all these things that form or deform life. The teacher lists 8 basic arenas that summarize people's perspectives of life, that when we get them wrong, they wield the potential to lead us into the despair of meaninglessness. And first he talks about vocation, your labor, your work, your toil. All have the potential for making you feel unfulfilled, undervalued, tired and troubled. The sun rises, the sun sets and rushes back to where it rises. You work hard all day, you crawl into bed at night, and before you know it, the sun's coming up and it's time to go back to work. You work hard all week and the weekend seems like it's over before you have time to enjoy it. That's how it feels for most people in the world, a continuous cycle, endless routine, hardship, drudgery, the daily grind. The teacher says that has us feeling as though life is meaningless. Then he talks about progeny, generations, having children, establishing a legacy, building a dynasty that can give us a false sense of fulfillment, but all false fulfillment is a ground for despair. The arrival of a new generation brings a whole lot of joy, but the knowledge that this heralds the parting of the old brings despair, because you have to pass on all of your hard work and labor and your inheritance and everything that you've gathered to others who haven't worked for what you have worked for. You don't know whether they're going to do well with it. You hope they do, but you don't know, and deep down inside that creates a sense of meaninglessness or despair. Then talks about the elements. The teacher isn't being meteorological when he speaks about the wind blowing this way and that. He's saying we're victims of things beyond our control. Elemental things. The wind may blow favorably one day, but you can wake up tomorrow and an ill wind is blowing and it will feel as though the elements are against you. So, again, another ground for despair. How are you feeling? Boy, you're hoping we'll go back to Psalms, I can tell. At least we have a little worship in Psalms, a little joy. But the teacher is getting at something here. He wants us to take life seriously. Then it talks about cycles, all streams flowing into the sea, but the sea is never full. Where the river starts, to there it returns. There are people whose tank is never full. There are people whose bank accounts, their bank balance, is never full. There just never seems to be enough. Again, grounds for despair. Then our dissatisfaction in life. Pleasure, music, beauty, we can never have enough. Our senses are never satisfied. We're always ready for some more gossip. The ear never has its fill of hearing. We always want some more news. We're always looking for some new tragedy to entertain us. Our eyes never have their fill of seeing. Always looking for something more. No satisfaction in life, again, grounds for despair. Then there's repetition, generations coming and going, and this repetition, an endless repetition ad nauseum. Everything we do eventually grows wearisome. So you start out on a new project, you're loving it. Start a new game, you're enjoying it, and eventually you're going to get sick of it. Again, what a meaningless thing. And then repetition ad infinitum. The person without humility struggles with his own limitations. He thinks of something original, but discovers someone else has already said it or wrote it. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. I know as a preacher that I think I'm delivering some new revelation, only to find out a week or two or a year or two later, somebody said that centuries ago, or a couple of years ago. There's nothing new under the sun. It gives you a sense of meaninglessness. And then finally, nostalgia, the generation gap. Some of us get nostalgic because we don't like the present, because we think that the past was better, and so we like to think nostalgically. The music was better in the good old days, we say. But most people are in a hurry to forget the past. We don't respect previous generations as we should. As you treat the memories of others, so shall your memory be treated. So this is a summary of life on earth, and the teacher laments the absolute transitoriness of life and all the pursuits mankind employs in order to formulate a reason for our existence are found to be unprofitable and vacuous and meaningless. Why? Because the gain we seek does not exist under the sun. True riches are in heaven, so seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and then all of the things that you need for life down here on earth will be given to you. Your only possibility for finding meaning in life is to seek first the kingdom of God. And here's our takeout line. Meaning can only be gained by lifting our eyes above what we see taking place around us. God bless you. Be wise. Wisdom is the answer to everything. So be wise. Don't look to the things of this world to satisfy the needs of your soul, because they can be found only by lifting your eyes above what you see around you. We'll see you again for more wisdom from the book of Ecclesiastes tomorrow.